You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 476, recorded March 2023, posted November 2024. Never turn your back on an awning.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, is he, him pronouns. Today, we are continuing an adventure that we call Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor from the Candlekeep Mysteries Book of Adventures. Erica, I don't know if I should mention how long it's been since we started this adventure, because when this is edited and released, it will be collapsed together, and you may hear this simply 1 week after the previous episode. But in real time, in the world in which we as move through life as humans playing Dungeons and Dragons and not just voices in your ear, it has been 5 months since we started this adventure.
I feel like that's maybe one of the most real D&D things that we do on this podcast is have trouble scheduling. It was
we started this adventure in October 2022. It is late March, almost April 2023. We had a follow-up date scheduled, which we announced at the end of the last stream. I was in the hospital when that date came around, and then it was hard to schedule stuff for a while. I can laugh, yeah.
I got a very apologetic text from your partner saying Tony feels terrible, but he has to cancel the D&D game because he's in the hospital.
I also probably felt terrible in several dimensions for several, like physically, emotionally, mentally. Yes. It was a great time. I can almost laugh about it now. But we're back. Scheduling things is hard, but we did it. Allow me to introduce our players. They will introduce their characters. I will introduce them in order of initiative because we are in the middle of combat. The Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor, this is a bit of a murder mystery cold case where our adventurers open a book, because that's what you do in Candlekeep Library. But that book was tethered to the ghost of a servant killed 5 years ago who, as ghosts do, would appreciate it if you would avenge their murder so that they can move on and not be tethered to a book. Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor, she's the character from the title of the adventure, was murdered as part of some horrible, seemingly cult-like mass murder that also involved the removal of tongues, which limited her ability to converse with the players, even in ghost form. Our adventurers traveled from Candlekeep to Waterdeep, where they had been nosing around, learning things about the Yellowcrest family, or at least who remains of the Yellowcrest family, specifically the business of Lord Vialis Yellowcrest, whose family all died in some horrible thing that's not his fault, according to the papers. You specifically have been following a lead around an elf named Farrell, who is in business with Vialis Yellowcrest, or is his operative or something like that. He comes around occasionally to Waterdeep to collect money and handle HR issues at the businesses owned by the Yellowcrest family. And Nis, we'll remind you who Nis is in a second, took on the appearance of Sarah Yellowcrest and confronted Farrell, and Farrell attempted to abduct Nis, and then violence happened. So, speaking of our players, let's and our characters, let us meet them and remember who they are. First up, James Thompson.
Hello, I am playing Nyasa Nightweaver, going by she, her, high elf, rogue, ex-assassin, and current owner of a working gallbladder.
Show off.
Fantasy.
Also joining us, it's Jason Snell.
Hello, I am reminded I am playing Nis. She is a lizard folk sorcerer who has sorcered herself into pretending to be Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor, and is pretty much the cause of the rolling of initiative by when being kidnapped and manhandled or thug handled into a stagecoach for kidnapping. Decided to use the opportunity to shockingly react magically to the attempt, and therefore Tony said, "Whoa! It's a fight."
That's my line.
So.
Also joining us,
Making trouble.
Tiff Armit. Hi, Tiff. Welcome back.
Hi, she, her. I'm playing Paulie Quartz of the Rock Island Quartzes and Potential Elefante.
Okay. I hope you looked up the rules on how that works, because I don't know. Also joining us, it's Erica Ensign.
Hello, yes, Erica Ensign, she, her. I am playing Fritat Ha, also she, her, a Goliath barbarian who is also, it is important to note, carrying a great big long rug over her shoulder.
I feel like you could have left that in Candlekeep, but here we are. Several days travel north of Candlekeep.
Well, that's how we smuggled the book.
Walking around a busy city. No, the book was in someone's
pants.
Paulie.
Oh, it wasn't in the rug in the pants. It was like a turducken of the book.
I think the rug does not fit in a gnome's pants, just based on surface area alone.
It's magic, Tony.
I was looking at the rug of smothering.
Some pants of holding.
It's pretty significant.
The stat block, and I don't see a actual size on here, but like the kind of nice big rug that you would put in the middle of a room. So I figure I look perfectly, quote unquote normal for Waterdeep, because I'm tall even for a Goliath. So I just have it over my shoulder.
You just look like you're delivering a rug.
I'm delivering a rug. Exactly.
I just feel like you've been jaunting back and forth all over a city carrying a rug. I would be complaining if I was doing that. And last but not least, Kathy Campbell.
Hello, Kathy Campbell. I am playing Hermione, and she is a centaur fighter, and very sad that as of yet, she has not gotten to ride an elephant, and because of her size and being a centaur, she probably won't get to, and so she's around the corner, just kind of a little sad right now, but hopefully she'll get to hit something, and that'll make her feel better.
All right. So let us start off this combat. There are several types of bodyguards protecting Farrell, attempting to kidnap Nis, and just generally ready to rough up anyone who looks like they could use roughing up. That's the kind of bodyguards these are. Nis, a thug, the kind of lowest tier of bodyguards, grabbed you. Two of them went to grab you. I guess the first one grabbed you, and if you want, I'll let you electrocute both of them.
Okay, all right, that's awesome.
Two bodyguards grab you, basically each under one kind of armpit, and are going to hoist you up into the carriage that they all climbed out of, and you lightly electrocute both of them.
Right, I've rolled 8 damage from my shocking grasp.
Okay, they both yelp in pain as they are electrocuted. I imagine, Nyasa from across the street, you see them you can see their skeletons blinking.
Yeah, I was hoping for that.
And Farrell, the elf that these thugs are protecting,
I also yelp.
Yeah, okay, everybody yelps.
As if injured.
All right, Nyasa, you are first to react. You are across the street. I will say that, I think all of the... are they good? Are they bad? Yes, they're bad. All of the bad guys are focused on Nis, who's taken on the appearance of the deceased Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor. So there's a cult fanatic just around the corner who has a back to you. Probably there are a variety of enemies in the street that are unaware of your interest in this situation.
Does this fanatic happen to have a sort of target-shaped thing on the back of their outfit?
No, it's nondescript.
Oh. Well, I'm going to throw knives at them anyway. I believe I was hiding under a convenient leather awning.
Sounds like you. Oh, yes, I remember the leather awning discussion.
No, that just means that I get to do an extra 4d6 of damage if I hit the person.
46.
I know.
Still got it.
Wow, I'm out of practice.
I feel like I was a little slow. I'm a little ashamed.
Okay, I'm going to throw some psychic blades into the back of the fanatic that is nearest to me. And I get plus...
Never turn your back on an awning.
No, you never know what could be hiding under it.
That's what they told me.
That's hard in the awning district where you
It is.
Yeah.
You basically got to lay on the ground.
And you know what's down the street from here? The awning portal, the lesser bar in
yeah.
Well, I
It's literally just a bar that the entrance has an awning over it. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
I got 23. So
did you roll to hit, or your 23 was what you rolled to hit?
I rolled a 16 and I got +7 on that.
All right, that is unnecessary. Your psychic blades plunge into the back of the unsuspecting cult fanatic.
Because I am surprising this person, I get to do 5d6 plus
5d6.
5d6 plus 4.
Nice.
Which is 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 19 damage.
All right. The people across the street from you and the cult fanatic just see the cult fanatic kind of headed toward Nis, and then like psychic blades just rip out of his sides. And the cult fanatic kind of whirls around. He is severely injured by this unwarranted sneak attack. He's just trying to do his job, which is kidnap servants that should be dead who wouldn't take a bribe.
Well, I get a bonus attack of one more knife. If he's looking poorly, then I could do that. Otherwise, I could hide.
He is looking rather poorly.
Well, let's give it a go. I can only do a maximum of 5 more damage, but let's start the adventure with a bang.
Bang.
I will just suggest you're level 7. The number of enemies here is significant, so I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna hide.
Nope, nobody wants to get. Well, no, I'm just saying, I wouldn't like save all your stuff for the next fight.
No, but if I hide, then I can surprise and I can do more damage next time.
All right.
So
you
hide.
then you duck
I just
back
slip
under.
into the shadows. The fanatic whirls around and there's nothing there.
All right. Well, speaking of the fanatic, the cult fanatics are next. There are 2 of them. These are loyal bodyguards to Farrell, who they seem a little different than your normal kind of hired thugs, and they seem angry.
I'd be angry if somebody threw knives in my back.
Yeah. The one, do you roll stealth to hide? Is that what you do?
I guess I do. I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 19 and I have +10 on stealth.
All right.
Good golly.
I'm going to say that you disappear, behind some convenient obstacle in the area of that store. The cult fanatic whirls around looking for a target and cannot see who just attacked him with psychic blades.
All he sees is an awning.
Yeah, all he sees is an awning. And so he points at Nis, and uses...
How tall is that wagon?
Fine. He walks north and points at Nis.
Can he see me from there, or does he need to come all the way around?
No, I think he can see you from there.
All right.
Fine, he'll come there.
Okay, good.
You know what? I love map negotiations. My favorite part of Dungeons and Dragons. He points at you and says, "Stop resisting," and uses hold person. Choose a humanoid that I can see within range. Nis. That target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, this seems like a great kidnapping spell, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why he got hired.
Yeah.
I critically failed.
Oh,
All
no.
right. Bad news. You are paralyzed. You can look up what paralyzed means, but it's real bad. On your turns, you can attempt a wisdom saving throw to the end of each following turn. So you'll spend your turn attempting to resist that. But basically, you're heavily limited. I mean, I think you can do almost nothing when you're paralyzed. The cultist is using magic to restrain you and make this abduction easier. The other cultist is climbs out of the wagon and is just looking around on this side of the street, just looking real mean in case anyone is thinking of causing trouble. What will this cultist do, given that there are no obvious targets? They have a variety of spells, which always slows me down. They're going to cast Shield of Faith on themselves, boosting their armor class. Farrell is next. He pulls out. It looks kind of more ceremonial than anything, and I don't know if you're intimidated in any way by it, but he's got a kind of a fencing rapier, and he says, "It's time to end this," and points at the wagon. The thugs are next. They don't see what's going on. They've been slightly electrocuted by you, Nis. So I think they're basically just gonna grab you again, and I think they're gonna try and load you into the wagon. And I think because you're paralyzed, you can't do much about that. Does that seem fair to say?
Sounds about right.
All right. So they're going to, you know what? I think the thugs are just going to basically use their turn. They think that the resistance was from you, and they climb into the wagon with you and kind of one big burly thug on either side of you in the back of the carriage. I'm using the word carriage and wagon interchangeably, which is going to make somebody mad.
Is there a cover?
Yeah. Which is it, actually?
I imagine it's more like a stagecoachy kind of carriage.
Okay.
Okay, but it's enclosed.
Yeah.
Are the windows with glass, or are they just open boxes? And are there curtains?
I would say there's probably some curtains, but they're not. You all can see without too much difficulty.
Okay.
Nis and two thugs in the back of this carriage.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, Nis, it is your turn. You've been loaded. I think it is now officially a kidnapping.
Yes.
Why don't you do a wisdom saving throw to see how you feel about paralysis?
I rolled a 14.
14 is what you needed to get. You have broken the hold person spell.
And that's all I can do, right?
That's all you can do.
Okay.
Paulie Quartz, you are down the street watching this happen.
So Nis is now not paralyzed, right?
Yeah, you don't.
I don't know if we know that.
I don't know if you know that, but yeah.
Okay.
And I think this probably counts as grappled because they're between two thugs. Yeah. And I don't think this was the plan. And I don't, and I've listened to the recording. I don't know what the plan was.
I don't think there is a plan.
But this wasn't it.
The plan was to shake Farrell and see
shake him down.
If we could get some information out of him, seeing a dead girl.
Yeah.
And information about the place or all of that. I think.
And the information you have learned so far is he does not like to be shaken down.
No, and that he's probably going to go back to his lord wherever he is in the countryside. So I would say there's two ways to play it now, and one way to play it, since nobody on the other side seems to have done the requisite, an intelligence check to see through my disguise. No. They may still think that this is that dead girl. Or somebody who knows about that ritual regardless. So you could let them take me, or you could kill them all. Or all but the guy in the hat.
I think originally,
really, up to you.
The idea was if he heads away, we could have followed him. But I think at least for Frittata, the fact that one of her compatriots is in the back of this thing is I don't want to just follow now, because what if we lose them? We don't want to lose Nis.
Totally.
Yeah.
But do we think we can take 7?
Frittata does.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, personally, Nis can't tell you anything, but personally, Jason says, let's take care of these guys. I don't like that guy.
Take care of enough of them and get Nis out of the carriage and let them go, and then
also you want to question Farrell. So what you got to do is you got to turn this kidnapping into a
reverse kidnapping?
Yeah. Yes. The old switcheroo kidnapping.
Napkidding. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
Because you can't kidnap the hat if he's gone.
Yeah.
You could just take his hat and be like, got your hat. And he's going to be like, I'm so mad.
It's the source of his power.
All right, Paulie. We did that to buy time for you.
Paulie.
I feel like I have to make these decisions on my own because I'm literally by myself.
Yeah. What would Paulie do?
What does Paulie want?
We all live on an island. And that island, Rock Island.
Have I been drinking is the question.
I don't think so. I don't think there's been time. Well,
no,
you did actually have some wine earlier in the day.
Yeah, but that was so long ago.
And didn't we determine that Rock Island iced tea is basically just sand and rocks?
Yeah, it's just bay water and gravel.
Okay.
Just a big old scoop.
All of these callbacks too. Last week / 5 months ago.
So my thinking is, even though no one can help me decide, is I either burn a whole bunch of people with lightning and set the carriage on fire.
Yes.
Or I send in my Quasit as a small creature with a possible spell of pass without trace to kind of stow away and then tell us where the carriage has gone.
Mm.
So, but nobody would know that little Antony was hiding in the carriage, or even like me as a different creature was hiding in the carriage, and they might kill everybody and destroy the carriage. So I just don't know if I want to be stealthy or I want to be destructive.
Follow your poly heart.
Yeah, you know that there's a Goliath. I would say that gives
and
you
a centaur.
Clue that
you can probably, from where you are, you can probably see me, and you can see that I am like braced to run toward the carriage. So I don't know what that tells you in terms of which thing you would want to do. But
all right, so
you can't see Nyasa, but you know that people are falling down dead for no reason, which probably means Nyasa.
Technically falling down severely
I'm
wounded.
going to move
Okay.
25 feet, which is my move sitch here. And now I am going to cast Lightning Bolt, which can go 100 feet.
So anywhere on the map.
into like a 5-foot radius. So I'm going to kind of cast it like diagonally this way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like there. So hopefully hitting
those two guys.
The veteran, the fanatic, and possibly that
is
other
it line
thug
of sight? Because you probably wouldn't be able to see the fanatic because it's behind the carriage from you.
I believe the lightning just goes.
Just goes.
It
It
goes straight.
It just
it's
forms
like that
a line.
laser
Awesome.
beam in Real Genius.
Yeah.
It just blasts through. I think you're going to set the
carriage on fire. Also,
carriage on
yes.
fire, and possibly that building across the street.
Yeah, at least a little
it
bit.
says anything. The lightning ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't worn or carried.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. In
So
fact,
it's
there might.
it's
I mean,
pretty
it's
big.
100 feet. It might hit a building behind that building.
Yeah.
All right.
A statue.
So
that's in between
hopefully
them.
someone
Yeah.
can help Nis get out of the flaming carriage.
Also, don't set me on fire, please.
All right. So I have to roll a bunch of
That's
things.
what you get for hiding.
You have to roll
It's a risk.
say a dex saving throw, please.
So it's for the veteran and the fanatic. Okay.
The fanatic,
and the
yeah.
fanatic, possibly the thug. I don't know if they're close enough.
Mm.
Are they holding
think the
hands
angle
with the
works.
fanatic?
See, because
the
it kind of
veteran
goes like this. Like,
Rolled a
Better.
7. I don't know why it's rolling it twice, but I'm taking
Fail.
the first number, even though the second number is much better. The fanatic rolled a 20.
Wow.
fanatic
Fanatic
saves
is
and they'll
nimble.
take half damage then.
Yeah. Half damage is still pretty good, though, right?
All right, so that is 8d6, so that's 31 damage.
86.
31 damage.
I'm back.
And then half that for the other one, so 15,
The fanatic.
15 and a half.
15.
15.
No,
Yep.
there's no half points.
Order whole point. Eat half. Okay. So a bolt of lightning tears across the street, signaling to everyone in the Leather District of Waterdeep that this is not the place to be.
It was a lightning strike. There's no way to pin it on me.
It's just
Sideways.
The carriage is on
lightning
fire, by the way, and so is that
Yes.
house.
and the carriage is on fire. I suspect that is bad for horses. I haven't run all the math here, but I suspect that is bad for horses. That line didn't go through the horses on the carriage, did it?
No.
No.
It went
no.
near them. Okay.
I would
think
never
that
do that in front of Hermione.
Right?
you would never murder
qualification.
you would never murder a horse when there's a witness tip. That's your
When there's a horse witness.
you know
I said what I said.
Yeah.
what
do
I
you think-
appreciate
Check his bed later. You'll
Yeah.
know how I feel about a horse.
What do you think is in those meatball subs anyway?
what I appreciate about Tip Arment is the strict moral code.
The well-defined moral
Yeah,
code, I
yeah.
believe.
They can't
You know.
prove it.
How many
Didn't
gnomes
happen.
does it take to electrocute a horse? Depends how many people are watching. Why does my version of Polyquart sounds a
Wow.
little too much like Yogi Bear though? So
The picnic basket.
yeah.
Only a good pair, yeah.
Frittata, you have been waiting very patiently down the street, looking at a display of fine leather belts while all of this has been happening.
Treat yourself.
I have been worried that they're gonna run off with Nis, so I'm gonna do the same thing that I was gonna do anyway, even though the driver is now on fire. I'm worried about the driver just taking off.
Mhm.
So I cannot quite get there with my moves. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So I can get pretty close. And what I'm going to do from here is I am going to throw Cuddles, the rug of smothering, up at the driver
Nice.
so that the driver
Good.
cannot take off without, basically that's it. I wish I was close enough to actually be able to like smash whatever is holding the horses. Yeah, to the, but I can't quite get that close.
Well, I'm sure
Puddles. Does Cuddles inflict damage?
Cuddles can attack. So
for simplicity's sake,
get 'em.
Cuddles will operate on your turn, Frittata, and we'll basically consider that this is like, an extension of your attack. Is that
like little Anthony.
You threw a rug at somebody. I believe you've got a stat block for.
I sure do.
I posted it in the chat too.
I just pulled it up on D&D Beyond. It's not any different than just your typical rug of smothering, correct?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got a little bit more personality, but
this one's named. So
this is important.
Higher charisma.
Yeah. So what color is this rug? This is an important thing because I need to know what color die to roll for this rug. Tiff? I think you should get to decide.
It's just like the picture, green and red.
Is it just like, okay, green and red. All right.
It's really into Christmas.
Here we go. Green and red.
Perfect.
Let's see. Well, it wasn't the greatest roll. That is an 8 plus 5 to hit. So that's 13.
Let me check. And the veteran who was in place to drive the horses manages to kind of knock it away with a shield, and but seems very surprised that someone has tried to murder him with a carpet today.
Okay, and also I would like to point out that the way that I threw it is that like it was, to land over him, but also sort of be in front of him. So now it is sort of tangled in the mechanism that connects the horses to
I would
the
say
carriage. If it tries to go, it's not going to get very far.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if the carriage has been disabled, but it has certainly been heavily inconvenienced, especially because this is a rug. I feel like if you had just thrown a... Yeah, sure. We know things. I feel like if you had just thrown an inanimate rug there, that would be like, that would not be good. But this is a rug that wants to smother things. So it's like,
at the very
least, it's not
least,
going to go along like peacefully.
At the very least, I would assume that the driver would drop the reins, which means it couldn't tell the horses to go. So,
And it smothered the fire up in that part, so it's not on fire anymore.
Yeah, that immediate area is not on fire.
The front part.
Yeah,
the side with the hole blasted in it. That's
I'm glad that we've got very good horses that don't startle easily when somebody shoots lightning.
Yeah, they're trained.
When did the horses
it's water deep.
Did the horses roll initiative?
Forget it.
I'm trained in animal handling. It's fine. Like they look okay. They look okay. I think as a bonus action, especially because I kind of missed a little bit with Cuddles there, I am going to rage.
Okay.
And let me see. Actually,
you made her angry.
I want to be there instead.
Sure.
You're in trouble.
Simply because when I go into a rage now, I have an aura. And so as I go into my rage now, I have, what is the name of my fancy aura? It is Storm Aura, Desert.
Or the Explorer.
So I have a 10-foot aura effect when I start my rage. And when this effect is activated, all other creatures in your aura take 3 fire damage.
I'm going to put a little aura on your token. That's a 10-foot aura.
Oh no, Cuddles. This might be the end.
Isn't Cuddles is on top of the veteran though, right?
No, it's on top of the yoke.
Oh,
the carriage.
Oh, I thought moving farther away would be, well...
That's a 10-foot aura. It goes out from you 10 feet in every direction.
I guess it does.
It's a circle.
We could drop it off in the rug district for repairs.
That's true. You know what? The Cuddles has been on fire before. Also, is a construct a creature?
I believe a construct is a type of creature, yes.
Okay. Well, sorry, Cuddles.
I don't know. Someone can look up
That's the annoying thing about this is I don't know if I can turn this... Like, can I just not rage anymore without hurting everybody around me?
You just got to do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah. I think sometimes, you bring the rage.
Sometimes all the best characters die.
Yeah, which is everyone, not you.
Are you implying that Tiff's characters are not the best? And that's hey, can I have a turn?
Yeah, speaking of turns, it's Hermione's turn.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I am going to Hermione is going to gallop up here because
you were way far down the street.
quite make it. I could double run, but then I couldn't do anything. So I'm going to stand right here just so I can, stop the horses if needed.
You are kind of, it seems like, it's almost like you have a planned ambush on this carriage that showed up and tried to abduct your friend.
Almost.
You are at this point, the carriage would have to trample Paulie or Hermione. Which, if I was the driver of the carriage, I would choose Paulie.
I'm just going to get flat and go right under.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, they might not even notice Paulie,
just a bump in the road.
Rude.
It's really just a matter of mass.
I am a short king. A short king.
Hermione, so you move. Do you want to do any kind of ranged attack from where you are?
Yeah, I'm going to... So Cuddles is not on top of the driver, right?
Correct.
Because it fell. Okay, so I can go after that with my crossbow.
Yeah.
15?
15 does not hit the veteran. Okay. The guard driving this wagon, this carriage, is a veteran. Thank you for your service, and is a very tough, trained military mercenary. Not like the street thugs or the cult fanatics who are just wearing robes. So
okay. Well, the nice thing is, I think so. I have an extra attack that's the thingy in beginning at 5th level. I can attack twice instead of once. So does that count with the crossbow bolt? Like, can I take another shot?
I think so. I think you can take. I think as a fighter, it's just an attack, whatever that attack is.
Okay.
Fighters are great at attacking. They get to do it a bunch, I believe.
Yes. All right. Well, that is not even going to hit. I'm not going to say what I rolled.
It was a number, wasn't it?
It was a number.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That is
so the tough, burly veterans, the most seasoned of Pharaoh's bodyguards, are next. This one up riding, driving the carriage, he sees the interlopers ahead of him. Range of targets, I guess, I think the rug of smothering Cuddles is the biggest threat here. So he
go Cuddles
unsheaths a longsword and makes 2 longsword attacks on Cuddles.
No.
Yeah. He rolls a pretty not so great 13 and a critical fail. What is Cuddles' armor class?
12.
So a 13 will hit. So he slashes into Cuddles for 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
The other veteran is looking around, and I think sees that kind of danger is coming from this way because Nyasa has completely disappeared. So the veteran kind of runs east. He was behind the cart. He runs up alongside the cart, kind of yells to Farrell to get in the cart, takes up a position here at the front of the cart, is looking around. He's going to pull out his own crossbow, and I think he's going to see Hermione as the most threatening target, blocking the street in front of the carriage. Fires a heavy crossbow shot. An 11 versus Hermione doesn't sound very intimidating.
No.
Yeah. So the crossbow bolt clatters against the pavement, not really even in your general direction. Hermione, you may have thought he was shooting at someone else.
Okay, can I laugh at him? Anyways?
Yes.
Okay.
Nyasa, you are next. You are nestled beneath a leather awning, as is your natural habitat.
Yeah, black leather. Well, this fanatic that I inconvenienced before, I'm going to further inconvenience them, I think. So yeah, I am gonna. Well, yeah, no, why not? Because I've got a surprise attack. So, my +7, so I've rolled 19.
Which fanatic are you attacking? The one you have already attacked?
Yes.
19 will hit everything. You attacked the one up here that's bloodied.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just going to take him out.
All right. He is clutching his sides where psychic blades tore into his ribs.
5d6 plus 4. 18 damage.
He tumbles to the ground in a mist of blood. This is just 10 feet away from Farrell, who suddenly realizes that this is not going according to plan, and you can see a look of panic on his face.
I dive under an entirely different cardboard box.
Okay.
Or I attempt to, anyway. Because I got to keep them confused as to where these attacks are coming from.
Yeah. Hit and run. All right.
I rolled a 24. So
I think no one knows where you are, including your friends.
Including myself.
Yeah. The cult fanatics are next. One of them is dead. One of them has been hit by a bolt of lightning. That one is kind of panicking, whirling around, looking for something to do. It sees Frittata as the most kind of menacing looking presence on this side of the carriage, points at you and says, Freeze is also going to use hold person on you, Frittata. You need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14, to be not paralyzed.
I am paralyzed.
And actually, I apologize, DC 12, not 14.
Aww.
Still paralyzed.
Still paralyzed. You are frozen in your tracks. Farrell is next. Let me just check. What can Farrell do? Farrell is only armed with a fancy hat and a fencing rapier, so is also a coward. Farrell climbs up into the wagon, kind of across from the two thugs, and Nis. Farrell holds the rapier at your throat, Nis, and orders the thugs to get out of the wagon and deal with this. Thugs are next. Let's see here.
Thugs should have a union, I think.
Maybe they do.
Just checking the speed of a thug.
Depends if you push them off a cliff or not.
This thug kind of explodes out of the north side of the wagon, rushes down the street. Yep.
I'm not paralyzed anymore. Do I get an opportunity attack on that guy as he leaves?
I think so. I don't know if you have any weapons out because you were pretending to be a servant, but so I don't know.
Just with a disguise. I mean, I've got a dagger at least. I can dagger him.
I'm going to tell you, both thugs get out either side of the wagon. They thought that you were
paralyzed.
But yeah, I think you can stab one of them. As because they think
hold your dagger to this guy.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Yeah, just tell me north thug or south thug.
North thug, 20 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And it's a 5 damage.
All right.
Get him in his calf as he's leaving the
He seems
carriage.
Confused about why he's bleeding from his leg as he limps down the street in the direction of Paulie. The other one closes with Frittata. The third one, who has done nothing because they didn't know what was going on, kind of heads away from the side of the wagon. So two thugs are converging on you, Frittata. Does anything happen when they enter your aura, or is it on your turn that the aura is bad?
I looked it up, and when I pop up the aura in the first place, then things take the damage, and then after that I can use a bonus action to inflict.
Fire it again.
So it's not like I automatically have to hurt everybody around me. Thank God.
So did the thug and the Raghav smother?
So they don't take anything when they come in. On my next turn, if I wasn't paralyzed, then I could hurt them. But
should they have taken damage when you started the aura?
Yeah, the one that was in the aura. Yes.
How much damage should they have taken?
It was 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I wrote it on Cuddles.
Okay, I wrote it on Cuddles
as well. So
all right.
Sorry, Cuddles.
Okay, let me roll dice for the many thugs that are happening here. The thugs are armed with maces, so melee weapons. They get to do multi-attack. So first off, a thug comes over and is swinging his mace in the direction of Paulie Quartz's head. Mace attack. I rolled a 10 and a 16, Paulie.
16 hits, but I have a spell that's milled into stone and it has a little R next to it. Does that mean it's a reaction? Wait, that's ritual.
Or is it?
It means nothing.
Yeah. Rituals usually take a lot of prep time. So.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yes, my AC is 11. So.
Okay, so you duck the first one. The second one whacks you really good on the shoulder for 5 bludgeoning damage. For Tata, you are paralyzed. What does that? Do they have advantage?
I think they just hit automatic. I haven't looked up paralyzed. I probably should. But I would assume they hit.
I think you never hit automatically. Let's see.
Automatically fails strength and dex saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature.
Have advantage.
Okay, so yeah.
All right. So there are 4 attack rolls coming your way. Let me just roll them. First one is the highest I got was a 10. Second one, 18.
Yes.
19.
Yes.
And 21.
Yes.
All right. Those thugs are just raining blows up down upon you.
Hey, at least my rage stays up. If they didn't do any damage, my rage would go away.
That is going to be 5 bludgeoning damage 3 times for 15 bludgeoning damage.
All right. My rage is still ragey.
Good.
Even if I can't
move. Nis, you are in the backseat of a wagon or carriage across from Farrell the elf, who maybe this is just where you want him. Farrell thinks that he is in control of the situation. He has his kind of fancy fencing dagger pointed in your direction, but suddenly he is alone in a carriage with no bodyguards.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And funny the twists and turns life takes.
It's true.
Is the carriage still on fire, you guys?
Part of it, I think it's smoldering. I mean, it's not like the carriage was not made out of gasoline, but it's definitely on. It's smoldering.
Some crackling blue energy has come out of my hands right into his face with a 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been witch bolted.
Okay.
He will take 10 damage.
He had 9 hit points.
Well, then he's out. I don't want to kill him.
Yeah. Okay. You have non-lethally witch bolted him. You've zapped him unconscious.
Just witch bolted him in the knees or something.
So now, Tony, is that all I can do, or could I possibly pick him up and haul him out of the carriage?
I think you could do that. That was that sounds like an action to haul a collapsed noble. So you could move. I don't think you have a whole action's worth of hauling a hostage.
Maybe pick him up and be ready to next time.
I will. Yes, I will be prepared. I'll do what I can on the rest of my turn here to haul him outside.
Okay.
And show him to his employees on the next turn.
Gotcha. I will just say, as you are getting ready to do whatever it is you're doing, Farrell, in addition to the aforementioned amazing hat, has a fancy necklace. Looks like he's got a lot of rings. You know that he has a change purse just full of money that he was trying to bribe you with before. And he also, I think you're close enough to see that he's got, like on a little kind of JT chain around his neck, a key that has that kind of classic key to a lockbox looking vibe. And you even see that there's like a lock compartment underneath the seat in the carriage that he was sitting in.
Right, because they're paying everybody.
Yeah.
This has turned into a heist here.
Is this a heist? This is really more of just a mugging.
It started as a murder mystery and turned into a heist.
The moment you get a key, it's a heist,
guys.
As far as I'm concerned,
let's get all the felonies in on this. Is this that wagon's on fire? You get that to a house. That's an arson.
I was kidnapped. Granted, I'm in the shape of I'm pretending to be something I'm not, but I was still kidnapped.
All right.
Anyway, Nis is knocked
also,
out.
I think
Mr.
it's
Hat.
arson,
yes.
Even if it's not just a
5-person
house.
crew. We're ready to go.
A house. It's just minor arson. All right. Paulie, a thug has run up to you and whacked you.
Not
First
that
of all,
way.
how dare you?
Yeah.
Can I, as a bonus action, can I just slap him back?
Yeah, it does. It doesn't do any damage, but he is taken aback by it.
Snap out of it.
Yeah.
I say, first of all, how dare you? And I'd slap him. Second of all, I cast Earth Tremor. And so that causes what? Okay.
I just love it.
Yeah, of course you do.
Of course you cast Earth Tremor.
Yeah. We none of you own property here in Waterdeep. You are not invested in this is,
We're causing some destruction. Okay,
we'll
so
never
each
come
creature
back here.
other than you in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. And you'll take bludgeoning damage, be knocked prone, and then the area is now loose earth or stone, and it becomes difficult terrain until it's cleared. So hopefully I can cast this in like kind of a 10-foot radius, and that would affect the carriage moving at all, in addition to all of these thuggers around here.
Okay, let's see.
Well, let's see. Should I move a little bit to have
does it
some more
emanate
range?
from you, or does it emanate from a 10-foot? Sorry, what was it?
It just says you cause a tremor in the ground within range, and the range and area, it says 10 feet. So I guess I could pick a spot.
Let's see.
And have like a radius.
It is a spot within 10 feet of you. Each creature other than you makes a dexterity saving throw. It's instantaneous. So you just look at a place and say,
I'm picking like this place on the corner right past the thug. And then so that way it kind of...
How big is it? Is it just a 5-foot square? Or is it...
It says range and area 10 feet.
Yeah.
So
what's the name of the spell?
So 10 feet out from the place that is within 10 feet of you.
Yeah. Okay. So like there's a big circle here, right?
Yeah.
All right. What is the saving throw that they need to get to for you?
12.
12. Okay. The thug manages to save. I rolled a 12. The veteran, I'll do the North veteran first.
What about the horse?
I think the horses immediately fail. North veteran gets an 11, which is not enough.
They have 4 legs. Horses are very dexterous.
These are, but they're like tied to a wagon.
Yoked horses, yeah.
Yeah, but they're just trying to not fall over.
They have
I just don't want these horses to fall down.
We just want to tear up all of the ground around them, but we don't want them to fall down.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a 4-legged animal would have...
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for the horses. The horses have disadvantage because they're attached to a wagon.
I'm sorry.
I rolled a 3 and a 7 for the first horse, and a 16 and a 3 for the other horse. The horses are down, people.
Paulie gets on the phone with his lawyer and sets up a special account for
Jerry. It happened again.
We need to make another donation to that horse charity.
Have you or your horse been injured in an earthquake caused by a dwarf? If so, call me.
A gnome. I think he's a gnome.
Sorry, gnome.
Yeah,
a gnome or a dwarf?
Yeah. How much damage happens if they fail?
3d6. I'm casting it at a 3rd level spell.
That's a lot.
The horses are dead.
Well, at least the carriage isn't going anywhere.
I'm sorry for I turn into a horse and take its place.
That's justice. That restorative justice. You have to live out the rest of your life as that horse.
I don't want to point this out, but is Cuddles also within that range?
Please roll dexterity for Cuddles, Erica.
Well, Cuddles is already
on
prone.
the ground.
So, but you might take damage, right? Because this is an earthquake that does 3d6 damage.
Let's see.
I'm sorry.
It's dexterity?
Yep.
Do you add your proficiency bonus to saving throws? I don't think so.
All
right. Well, that is an 18 on the die plus 2.
All right, Cuddles succeeds. Do they take half damage though on a success? Is that did we establish that?
On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. No, it doesn't say.
Okay.
It becomes difficult terrain.
But you cast it at a higher level.
Yeah, so it gets an additional 1d6, so it's 3d6. So and I rolled 12.
You rolled 12 damage.
86.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the thug somehow holds his ground. The 2 veterans take 12 damage. The 2 horses take 12 damage and go to a better place.
Right. I don't know. Riding horses
the veterans
have
are also
13
prone,
hit points.
Right? All right. They are just badly hurt. Yeah, I would say the veterans are knocked off their feet.
And then now the terrain is also difficult terrain.
And so yeah, I don't the ability
Draft horses have 19 hit points. I don't know what kind of horses these are.
The horses are badly hurt.
We can fix them.
Okay, what does difficult terrain mean?
That's how you get skeletal.
It takes
twice as much movement.
It takes 2.
Freaking Paulie!
Paulie, do you want to use the one of the paintbrush tool and draw the area that is now difficult terrain, perhaps?
Sure.
It's a 10 feet circle, right?
Yeah, I think so. For Tata, I think all you can do is attempt to save against paralyzed.
Yep. That is exactly what I am going to do. I rolled a 1. I am still paralyzed.
I am sorry.
But I'm also raging.
You are also raging. You're paralyzed, but you're so angry.
You can't take bonus actions, I suppose, while you're paralyzed.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, can't take actions or reactions. So yes, I cannot take the action to make my aura fizzle. So there we go. I'm done.
All right. Hermione, there are 2 badly injured horses ahead of you and an area of earth that has been torn up and all kinds of other bad things. What will you do?
Right. Okay. So, I want to come. The math is only for this little period. So if I have a speed of 40,
you can get there.
And it's 30, I can get there and I can charge this frickin'. Thank goodness.
All right. You run down the street. Part of the street is all torn up by earth tremor. So you have to run harder to get there. But you charge into the middle of the earthquake where a veteran is lying on the ground, granting you advantage. And you charge them.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my short sword. And I rolled a critical fail, but since I have advantage, I get to roll again.
Yeah, so don't roll 2 critical fails.
Let's see.
16 does not hit a veteran.
Wait, no. 18.
18 hits a veteran. You imagine that their armor class is somewhere between 16 and 18.
All right. Damage is 3 plus 4 is 7.
All right.
Okay. Because I charged, I am going to use my hooves. 10 plus 7 is 17.
17 hits.
Excellent. 1d4
you imagine the armor class of the veteran is 17.
5 points of damage.
Trample damage.
And then I would also like to swing an attack with my short sword again.
All right, fighters. Fighters gonna fight.
19 plus 7. Pretty sure that's gonna hit.
Yep, 19 traditionally hit.
And 8 damage.
All right, you are raining down blows and hooves upon this veteran who was basically untouched until a small earthquake and a large centaur rolled through the battlefield. They are now bloodied and lying on the ground in an area of torn up earth and cobblestone.
Excellent. You know what? I would, I think, like to use my second wind as well. Oh, no, that's wait. Nope. Sorry, I can read. I promise. I would like to do my action surge. That's what I want to do. I knew there was something with a square that I needed to click. 15 plus 7. Guessing that's gonna hit.
Yep, to hit the veteran one more time.
Yes, with my short sword. 4 plus 4 is 8.
All right. Badly hurt.
Excellent.
All right. The veteran is next. This veteran will clamber up to his feet and sees a fearsome centaur who has just been leveling blows upon him. And he will try and swing at you twice with his long sword. I have rolled a 9, which is not very good, and a 21, which is much better.
So does he get to like? I'm confused with the double.
He has multi-attack. He attacked you twice. I believe the 9 misses. Yes. Well,
gotcha.
The 9 happened, missed, and then the 21 happened.
Okay.
And I assume hit you.
Cool. Perfect. Yes.
All right.
Hit.
He lashes out with his longsword, hitting you for 8 slashing damage, Hermione. The other veteran kind of gets onto his feet on the increasingly diminishing property value that is this wagon that has been had its horses badly hurt, its hole lightning bolted through it, and a small earthquake in the direction of its axle, and I guess is still concerned about this rug, but the rug didn't do anything last turn.
No.
Gonna get off the wagon.
Also, it's not like the horses
centaur.
are going anywhere, even if he can get the rug out of the way.
I think that Hermione has been upgraded to the most dangerous threat to the veteran and his employer. So he gets off and will do 2 longsword attacks on Hermione. I have rolled an 11 and a 12, which I assume both miss.
Nope.
All right, Nyasa Nightweaver. No one knows that you are here.
Just as I like it.
You could just leave.
I always keep that one in the back pocket just in case. What I want to do is I want to run over and I want to jump onto the roof of the cart wagon thing.
Okay.
Can I still attack after doing that?
Yeah, give me an athletics check to get up on top of the wagon.
Okay.
There's very clearly a step on the back that you could just use to climb up.
Yeah, I want to kind of do it in like a very overblown motion. Just
stylish.
Yeah. Slow motion, doves flying.
Yeah, got it.
I rolled a 19 and I have plus 10 on acrobatics.
Well, it's athletics to get up. It's amazing. You are suddenly atop the carriage. And it's unclear if anyone noticed because most people's attention are focused down the street where all the fighting's happening.
I noticed because I have nothing else to do but just look around.
Then I will attack. Who shall I attack? If the fanatic dies, does the hold on Frittata break?
Yeah, it's based on concentration.
Right.
Yeah, you only have to just injure them badly enough to break their concentration.
I'm going to injure them. So I'm going to throw some psychic daggers from the top of this wagon at the fanatic that's next to it. And I rolled another 19 plus 7.
You don't need to add things to 19.
I like the large numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And 5d6 plus 4. 18 damage.
The cult fanatic had exactly 18 hit points. He hits the ground. I assume you're up on top of the wagon here. In a flurry of psychic blades, Frittata, you feel his concentration wane because he's dead, and you are no longer paralyzed.
As a free action, I howl.
Okay.
I give Frittata a thumbs up from the top of the wagon.
All right. The fanatics would be Ned, but
I've still got one action.
Do you? Okay.
Well, I can do a bonus action of flinging one more dagger.
Okay,
so
fling away.
I will target the veteran at the top next to Hermione. The one that's... they're both
badly hurt.
Well, I'll go for the one closest to me. This isn't going to do much damage, but it's just making a point.
A sharp point.
Indeed. That was 15 plus... what's the bonus action? Oh no, it is plus 7 as well. So that was a 23.
That'll hit. Roll some damage.
It's as if I have spec'd for this exact...
For murder?
Yeah.
But I don't think this does very much damage. 1d4 plus 4. Sorry, I have to find a d4. 7 damage.
All right. That veteran looks pretty badly wounded. The cult fanatics would be next, but they are dying out in the street. Farrell would be after them, but Farrell is unconscious, having been zapped by Nis. So the thugs are next in my increasingly diminishing little war party here.
I am smiling at them.
Yeah. Well, 2 thugs are going to start by raining down attacks on you, Frittata. Let me just check. Yep. I think they still have advantage because they have pack tactics. Yes, thugs have advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the thug's allies was within 5 feet, and the ally is not incapacitated. So, this thugs are going to roll several attacks on you with advantage. Let's see, here comes first one. Wow, 20 and 20. Okay. So that's going to hit. Second
I am
one,
going to use, as a reaction, I'm going to use my stone's endurance to reduce the damage of one of those attacks to me by 4.
Okay, that'll reduce most of it. We'll get to the damage in a second. Second attack, I get a 16.
That hits.
All right. Third attack from the second thug is a 20, which we know hits. And fourth attack is a 19. So they're just raining blows upon you. That would be 20 damage, 4 times 5, but you negate 4 of it, so it is 16 damage. How are you?
I think I'm bloody. Yeah,
okay.
I'm at 22 hit points.
Wow. Paulie, over by the earthquake that you caused, this thug is just going to do 2 attacks on you without advantage. So I rolled a critical 24 and an 11.
They both hit.
The 11 hits. Ow.
Yeah, my armor class is low.
Yeah, I guess you're not usually a...
It's low like me.
Yeah, low to the ground. Well, I rolled pretty low on damage, so you got that going for you. You will take 11 bludgeoning damage combined.
Okay.
All right. Nis, it's all come around to you.
Yay.
It's been a while since I played this character. I just realized I actually resist bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
So I probably should be in much better shape than I am right now. I was like, why did I rage? That's why.
That makes sense.
Nis is going to haul out of the south, is going to haul Farrell out of the south door. Is there a place I can go where at least I can be confident that everybody who is still alive from those guys can see me?
I would say that is actually, unfortunately, a little hard because there's basically one fight with Frittata and 2 thugs on the south side of the wagon, and one fight with Hermione and 2 veterans on the north side of the wagon. There's not a great place from which to address the hired swords.
Could you throw him on top of the wagon?
Yeah, but you can project, you can yell loud.
Could I maybe go out and like haul him up into the front of the wagon?
Sure.
And then I can see everybody from there, right?
Yeah. And they might see you.
So I'm going to haul him up there, and I'm going to say, "Hey guys, we got your boss. You would be wise to just let us have him and get out of here." So I'm basically going to say, "You should leave. We've got your boss."
All right. Give me a persuasion.
Okay. 12.
All right. Hold on one second here.
And I have one other persuasive thing I'd like to do, Tony.
Oh.
Are there 5 of them?
Yes, there are 5 left.
Each of them will receive a force bolt in the face.
Force bolt.
Yeah.
So this will be fun. I'm just gonna Tony, you decide who gets the damage.
All right.
For the 5d4 plus 1s that I'm gonna do here.
Yeah.
2 damage to 1.
Force
5 damage to 1.
The name of the
3
spell?
damage to 1 magic missile.
Oh, magic missile. Okay.
Nice.
So 2, 5, 3, 4, and 3. are the damage done by those 5 force bolts that go to all 5 of them, because I can see them from up here on the front, and I'm holding the guy up and I'm zapping him, and I say, get out of here.
All right. I will tell you, I've rolled some wisdom checks for them, and I will say they did not do great. I think you may not have convinced everybody, but you convinced a significant number of them. I think you'll have to wait and see how they react on their individual turns.
It's Vanessa's turn.
Yeah, Paulie, you are next.
All right. So I would like to use my club on this
going clubbing
thug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's time to go to the club. I start saying and I take my club and I okay, so I have a magic spell called Shillelagh, which lets you change the damage.
Yeah, it makes the club bigger and magical.
But it decreases my DC bonus or hit bonus from the original club. So what do I do with that?
Does anyone
do I
else
have to take both stats, or can I like take the stat that pleases me?
I don't think you get to take the stat that pleases you. I'm surprised it makes it lower. It must be something about how it
I think it might not think I have that high.
Like you're not trained in it or something.
Bonus. I don't know. But so it definitely gives me
your spellcasting ability instead of your strength. Does that mean
right?
Is
so
your spellcasting ability not as good as your strength?
It gives me more damage. And where do I find my spellcasting ability? That's just like a modifier, right?
Yeah.
So that's +1, but my strength is +2.
There you go.
Okay, so I should just use the plain old weapon without the magic, but then the magic gives me
Depends
more
if you want
damage.
something. One of them you have a 5% better chance to hit. One of them does more damage. So, do you want to do more damage, or do you want more certainty? Nothing about today has been about certainty.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Do I want certainty?
Well, and it's only, it's only 5% more certainty, you know.
Okay, so we'll impugn it with some magic because it's a cantrip, so it costs me nothing. So we'll go with that. So let's see, and that's 13.
You wallop that thug with your giant shillelagh. Roll damage.
Fantastic.
Yay.
Damage is 4.
All right. Well, I will tell you that thug had been force bolted and a variety of other things to it. That thug is now bloodied. All set, Paulie?
Yeah. I don't think I could do anything else. I don't have any extra attacks, so good.
Frittata, there are 2 thugs next to you that look nervous about this situation.
Nis is just keeping her hands up after she finished her little statement, and she's like, see?
Yeah.
See? Huh?
Magic?
Maybe you don't want to be here anymore?
I'm still ragey, so I am going to use the giant maul that I carry around on my back and use that to attack let's say the thug to the south.
All right.
Of those 2. And roll a 1. So I miss. But I basically swing through because I get 2 attacks, and I'll try to attack the other one then.
Follow through, yeah.
And I roll a 20. So
okay. Gives and takes.
Yep, exactly. All right, what is the damage on a maul? It's 2d6 plus 3, which means 46.
46.
46.
13 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. You wang that guy on the side of the head, and he is bloodied.
Yeah, and as a bonus action, since I'm still raging and none of my friends are within 10 feet, sorry, Cuddles, I'm going to activate my aura again and zzz, it's not a zap actually, it's fire, it's sizzle, and both of those thugs each take 3 points of fire damage.
Okay,
and I will also mark that off on Cuddles.
All right.
Poor Cuddles.
Hermione, we're getting toward the end of the round. You are kind of in the 2 tough, burly-looking veteran bodyguards are fighting you, but they are both pretty badly hurt at this point.
Excelente. So question, because I'm wielding it 2-handed, do I get 3 attacks? Like with my sword and then my whip? And then my extra fighter attack?
I believe so. Yes. I believe so. I'd have to look at your character sheet to be sure, but I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, are you dual wielding? You're wielding 2 weapons?
I think so.
Erica?
Then don't you get 4 attacks?
Oh, I mean, I don't know how the math works, but that sounds good to me.
If I think of my Carlos
exactly
thing, you get your first, and you get 2 attacks, and each attack is 2 weapons.
Okay, sweet. All right, let's
fighters
start.
They don't do much, but they do it a lot.
They do it a lot. All right, I'm gonna start with the one to the west. We're gonna do short sword.
You know that you need a 17 to hit.
Yep, that is not gonna hit. Let's try the whip. The whip hits because it has a 21. And D4. Yep, that's 4. 8 points of damage.
That veteran goes down. There's 1 veteran left to your south.
I'm gonna rotate a little bit. My hind legs are just gonna go boop 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 boop.
Pivot.
18.
18 hits.
And let's do 6 points of damage.
Badly injured.
All right, let's whip him into shape. 18.
18 hits.
4. And let's do 8 points of damage.
That veteran is also down. You took down the 2 toughest fighters in the fight with your sword and whip combo. Seeing the 2 toughest, most lethal bodyguards of Farrell slump to the ground, and Farrell himself being held up next to the crackling fist of, I guess, Sarah of Yellowcrest Manor, who might also be some kind of secret magic user. The thugs just drop their maces and put their arms up. In the distance, you hear the whistle of the City Watch converging on this major crime scene where horses have been wounded, wagons have been burned, and kidnappings have gone awry. How will they fare in a court of public opinion put on trial by a jury of their peers? That's right. They're gonna have to round up a centaur, a gnome, a spooky elf, a Goliath, and a lizard/human servant in order to have true justice. Or will our adventurers run away, never to answer for their crimes /self-defense/wagon ambush that they have perpetrated? For answers to questions such as that, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
The Incomparable Podcast Network. Become a member and support this show today. theincomparable.com/members